Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. You get fairy dust. I get fairy dust. Little Amelie gets fairy dust. And it's time for another chapter of complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving, written by Pete Walker, a most amazing book. And I do have to tell you that I had a dream that I gave this book to Princess Diana. Same. Okay, so I'm on page 24, and we've been talking about the developmental arrests in kids with PTSD, complex PTSD, and he talks about how some of us have gained confidence but not self-esteem. Some of us have gained success in the world, but we still feel not great about ourselves when we walk around in the world with our CPTSD unhealed. So he says this, Pete Walker says this: in childhood, my own flight response got channeled into acquiring academic skills for which the outside world rewarded me. Same. But the benefit of these rewards never penetrated my toxic shame. Exactly. We can never be smart enough, pretty enough, successful enough, perfect enough to heal our toxic shame. It actually has to be healed for us to even let any of our successes penetrate our humanity. He says, never penetrated my toxic shame enough to allow me to feel that I was a worthwhile person. I can just so relate to that. But then he goes on to say, which this blew my mind, and it really like, oh shit, this is what it is. This is what imposter syndrome is. So he says, 99% on a test was never a cause for pride. Same here. Rather, it was the impetus for a great deal of self-criticism about the 1%. Like many survivors I have worked with, I developed the imposter syndrome. This syndrome contradicted the outside positive feedback I was receiving. And so everything that I understand about how complex PTSD works is that we, especially fawns, but we are not allowed to have a self. We are not allowed to have a full functioning whole self. We're not allowed to have it. And so then, but there still are expectations of, the family still wants you to get successes in the world to make them proud or whatever. And you never feel like you never feel like there's always an excuse why it doesn't pertain to you, because ultimately we're not allowed to have the self. And so if I become a doctor, or if I become a doctor, well, the program I went to, that wasn't that hard. Or anybody can become a doctor. If I become a lawyer, anybody can become a lawyer. But then there's always, I just graduated. I want to be a partner in the firm. And then you get to be a partner in the firm. It's like, well, anybody could be a partner in the firm. Like, there's no, imposter syndrome, if left unhealed, you will die as an imposter. The only cure to imposter syndrome is to have a self and stop batting away. Where is it? Oh no, that's a wand. Best wand ever. Let's see. Yep, here it is. Batting away achievements. Batting away achievements. Oh no, it wasn't that hard. The test wasn't that hard. I just, and then it's like, I don't deserve credit for the things that I've done. And so part of healing is being willing to put the racket down and be willing to start taking in these things. It's like, I got a bachelor's degree. That's amazing. A lot of people don't have that. And I did that. And I worked really hard to get it. I then went on to have a master's degree. Fortunately, by that point, I had enough of a self to feel proud of that. But, you know, if somebody, it's just a matter of healing the self. I never remember of like, oh, I'm going to stop being an imposter. But it is starting to, hold on, I'm going to own the shit that I did. I'm going to, you know, and some of it's hard. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to have like one magic spell, but the work is always the same. It's to get a self. I'm just reading Harry Potter for the gazillionth time. It has brought me so much comfort in pandemic. I should just start them over. But it's like horcruxes over hallows. Horcruxes or hallows. Horcruxes or hallows. Which one should we do? Spoiler alert ahead. Stop watching if you haven't read the books or seen the movies. There's no point in having... Okay, so hallows are magical things that bring you a lot of power. Horcruxes are toxic wounds that have to be destroyed. How I'm using it is like, here are the toxic wounds, the horcruxes, and here are the hallows, these magical things that can make our life better, that can give us this power. Which do I choose? And I have to choose the horcruxes. I choose the horcruxes because these aren't going to serve me if I still feel like an imposter, if I still feel like a shitty person. The powerful things that, you know, like a degree or an accomplishment or a gold medal or a silver medal or a bronze medal, or you know, winning a contest or having a book published, or none of those magical, wonderful achievements or powers or is gonna, if you're carrying around horcruxes inside of you, this isn't always going to be meaningless. So we have to say, okay, I still want this shit. Like, I still want the hallows. I still want powerful things in my life. I still want to achieve excellence. I still want like cool things. But unless I heal this darkness within me, these toxins, this doesn't matter. Because I'm never going to, even if I got them, I'm never going to enjoy them. And so I'm always going to feel like an imposter. So I have to heal what needs to be healed. So when these things come along, yes, fun. Look at me, I made this, I did this, but if we got this and we still had the horcruxes, we'd be like, so everybody does that. People do it. This is stupid. Like, why does it matter? So I hope that's helpful. The answer is always the same. Let's use Glenda's one. The answer is always the same. We must heal. We must heal our CPTSD for us to have any chance of feeling free from any of the darkness and feeling and getting the things that we need and want in our lives. So I hope that's helpful. It's possible. I just said to somebody this morning, I said, I used to fucking hate myself. Like, gross, disgusted, waste of space, just dumb, just why? Like, you're so useless. Like, that's how I felt about myself every day. Hated myself. It's actually very hard for me to remember when I hated myself, because you can tell I'm a bitch that loves herself. So I hope that's helpful. Have yourself, grow yourself, and poof, one day. Imposter who? Who's she? I know who I am, and I'm not an imposter. I did all this shit, and it was amazing, and I did it, and I deserve to be in this job. I deserve to be, I deserve that credential. I am that credential. I am going to work the fuck out of that credential, that prize, that gold medal, whatever the fuck it is. Yes, yes, and more yeses. Love you. Hope that was helpful. Bye.